Hello and good morning, my dearly beloved fellow human beings and shining beings. We are here for part 2 of The Power of the Positives, which is a 12-part course and at the same level of quality that I would give to all my courses, the same level of love and intensity I would give to all my courses. But this one, everybody is invited. So last week we started on our investigation into the possibility of a relationship with the power of the positives. And the first thing that we did was to remind ourselves that I call people hello shining beings, to remind them that they are not just their physical body, but they also have this wonderful, glorious, shining energy body. And every person is indeed a shining being of many colors, many sparkles, many kinds of different rainbows, all sorts of marvelous things going on all the time in that living energy body. And if we were to switch our point of view and we were to look at people with not our eyes of day, but with our eyes of night, then we would see all these shining, sparkling, different, multicolored beings just wandering around and making connections with each other and forming group bubbles and couple bubbles and having energy exchanges between them. And that's going on all the time, and that's just such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Now, if you haven't seen part 1, I really suggest to come back later perhaps and go and watch part 1, because this is a course and it builds week by week. We'll be creating things, metaphors, ideas, thoughts, structures, and the exercises that we do, they also build on one after the other, sort of week by week, until we have created something quite beautiful in the end. And just to remind us, last week I said that we have the mirror ball as a metaphor for love itself, that awesome, original, creative power that created the universe, and that each one of the little mirrors is a positive. And a positive is something that makes your energy body happier. That's what a positive is. And that is all it is, and that's everything it is. And it's a most wonderful, wonderful thing. And I did say that I have a bigger mirror ball, and I thought I'll bring that out. How about that for the power of the positives? Just so you know that the promo picture isn't photoshopped, and I really do have a giant mirror ball. This is hung up in my garden from an old tree for many, many years. And it has been present with many parties, many wonderful experiences and events, and it has brought light and love to me on many different occasions in my life. I also said last week that I felt that my mirror ball necklace wasn't quite big enough, so I went away and I made another one. And to be remembered, right? This is all about the energy body. And when we make such a thing like a charm like this with mirrors, that both protects the heart but also helps to remind us of our heart of energy, and that we need to keep our heart of energy strong above all else, above all else. And that's really something that I'd like to address today, and that is heart healing and heartbreak. So many people actually suffer from a broken heart. What that means is that something happened and their heart of energy got perhaps chaotic or disturbed, or it got shocked. That's a good way to call it. It got shocked and stopped functioning and stopped providing that power we need for everyday life. And when the heart of energy goes down, a myriad of symptoms in mind, body, and spirit follow. And that's really, one cause with a myriad of symptoms. When the heart of energy doesn't provide the energy for the entire energy body, then we get all sorts of problems. We become weak and vulnerable to other people's negative energies, if you want to call it that. We become vulnerable to our own emotions. Our thoughts will go out of control. Our physical body will become weak. Our immune system suffers. And this is why so many people, statistically, when they've had a really traumatic event in their lives, are more likely to become ill afterwards. That's the direct cause and effect of that. And so the heart of energy really is the thing that we really need to look after, really need to focus on. And this is why in modern energy, almost everything we do starts in the heart position. And let's just, on this particular occasion and in the circumstances, assume the heart position now. And allow the connection between your energy hands, because your energy body has these hands of energy, which are normally in the same place as your hands of flesh. That connection, that streaming connection from your energy hands to your energy heart. And pay attention how you can actually feel that in your physical body. This is not an illusion. This is perfectly real. The heart position can stabilize us. Calm the chaotic disturbances in the energy system, wherever they are, whatever they may be about. And give us that moment of that we need to get out of all of this stress, this confusion, this tiredness, weakness, hyperactivity too. A lot of people think that if you're overactive or your mind is overactive, or you feel so nervous that you have to go and start, scrubbing the floor for the 50th time, that we need to calm down. And actually, from an energy body standpoint, that's the wrong way to go. We don't need to calm down. We need to add more energy to the system. And something that I use sometimes as an example for that is that when you're flying an aeroplane and the speed goes too slow, it doesn't go fast enough, the lift over the wings can no longer keep the airplane in the air, and it starts to shudder and shake. And that is your warning that your airspeed is too slow. And what you need to do to save yourself in that situation in an airplane is you need to increase the engine power so that the plane doesn't stall and fall to the ground, but that it takes forward and the lift gets over the wings again, and now you can fly out of problems. And that is how I would like you to think of your energy system and your energy body. Your energy body needs more energy when it starts quivering and shaking and becoming unstable. That's your sign when you're starting to question yourself, becoming uncertain, becoming frightened, or however that sort of plays out, when you can feel you're not feeling right in your body, you're not feeling at home in your body, you're feeling nervous or trembly, anxious, unsure, and you're starting to look around for possible problems in the environment. That is exactly the time when we want to assume the heart position and start calling in the power of the positives. Now, last week we took a really important first step, and that was to ask ourselves, what do I like? This magic question, uncovers our own personal positives, the things that will make our energy body ramp up, spark, and get happier. So let's just take a moment and think of something, right? Allow your dear energy mind to give you something that you really like and that is just perfect for this moment, right here, right now. What do you like? What springs to mind? And as you think about that and connect with that, I'd also like to remind us that last week we learned to accept this without arguing, fighting, or starting some kind of chaos. Whatever it is. If you like, and I would like, take a deep breath in and say that which you like on your out breath. Sunshine. Doesn't that feel nice? Let's do another one. What else do you like? Draw a deep, deep breath in. And on the out breath, say the word you like. Moonlight. And take a moment to really pay attention to the changes this causes that you can feel in your physical body right now. Pay attention. That is your sixth sense. That is a language of sensations. That is a way for your energy body to communicate with you and tell you so many important and wonderful things. Let's do 1/3 positive, and then we are ready for whatever comes next. Really deep breath in, as deep as you can breathe in. And on the out breath, something you really like. I didn't say anything to not disrupt what you were saying. What came to my mind was glorious colors. That's sort of a keyword for me that describes a certain type of experience that I have had when the world all of a sudden became filled just with glorious colors. And that is a side effect of when your energy really ramps up and becomes higher. And it's really interesting. The amount of people I've heard say that, oh my God, what's happened? The lights are brighter. The colors are more intense. Wow, look at the blue of the sky after a good energy session. This is a real symptom of becoming energy higher. And I might like to just mention that here we can stimulate this. And there is an easy, nice exercise in positive thinking that I'd love to share with you this morning. That just came to my mind. This is to just look forward in your environment and just be relaxed about it. You can do this in the heart position. That always helps. That tells everybody we're going to do something good and something interesting, something beneficial right now. And just find a color in the environment that really attracts your attention as a positive color. Something that will give you a little boost if you tune into that color. You don't need to look around much. It'll just sort of spark into your attention. And you just have a look at that color. And that color may remind you of something beautiful, a beautiful memory, or something that is just right, again, for you right here, right now, to give your energy system just this little boost, this little kick. This is something that you can do anytime, anywhere. And what's really important, and this illustrates a principle of the power of the positives, it illustrates the principle that we are working with positives in real time, in our real lives, moment to moment, because the positives are there when we need them. We have been taught to wait. Wait for food, wait for water. Wait before you can go to the toilet. In brackets, that may be a really bad thing as well, especially in the long run. We've been taught to wait for rewards, that we have to work terribly hard for many, many years before we get anything given to us. Wait, wait, wait. The energy body doesn't like this. In the energy realms, there's no time. It's always here and now. There's only here and now. And that's kind of a nice little sort of quote. There's only here and now. And here and now, we can pick a color in the environment that will immediately act as an energy vitamin and uplift us. I was looking at a pretty blue right in front of me that just so reminded me of the summer sky when it's sort of at its absolute bluest. And that gave me a nice little shiver running down the back. And then as I said it again, I saw a bright burst of yellow from one of my paintings caught my eye. And that was like a little bit of lemon, a little bit of vitamin C. When we learn how to do positive thinking right, we learn how to direct our attention on those things in our environment that can help us, that can support us, that can lift us, that can literally heal us from the problems of the day. And that, to me, is positive thinking. It's a completely different way of looking at the world, of listening to the world, of sensing the world inside, of tasting the world, of scenting the world. And instead of filtering for all things terrible, we start to filter for what can be of help in this environment. And that has so many positive repercussions on our states and through our states, on the way we solve our problems and go about our daily lives and go out and seek our star experiences, that is really pretty incalculable. Just imagine a person going through their lives, learning to seek the beauty, the opportunity, the potential for joy, for love, for unfoldment, for evolution, all the time. The reality in which we find ourselves remains the same, and yet our behavior and the way we act and our life's experience, and that's the important part here, our life's experiences will change when we start to look for the power of the positives and listen carefully. Listen carefully. Because that what I said about the colors in the environment works for all the senses. It works for all the senses. I don't know why we have tuned ourselves to the negative like we have. And frankly, I don't care. But I know we can tune to the positives. We can tune to the little positives. but we can also learn to tune then to the really high positives, the super positives. We'll be doing them at some point further down the line, because what we are doing at the moment is we are laying the foundations for a different way of thinking. A way of thinking that connects us with the power of the positives. And in order to aid us in this endeavor, this week's central exercise and also our homework exercise is to start to turn problems to solutions. What you see, always, but particularly right now, I'm recording this in the first days of the coronavirus isolation in 2020. What we have right now, and always have had, is this reporting the problem mindset. That people isolate a problem and report on it, and that's it, that's where the story ends. That is something that I have addressed in my book Revolution, is that somehow the idea that if we've isolated the problem, that's the end of the problem. It's not. For example, there are these people who are very upset and very determined to unmask child sexual abuse in Hollywood. And that's what they do. They unmask this all the time. And they talk about it, how bad it is and how awful it is. And beyond the unmasking, nothing happens. That's it. We've talked about the problem again. We have child sex abuse survivors who now talk about how bad it was. And that's it. There's no solution. We're just reporting the problems over and over and over again. Oh my God, it's so terrible. And that reminds me of two old housewives in the village where I grew up over the fence, exchanging the latest bad news. And have you heard about Peter? Oh yes, been arrested again for drunk driving and his wife's been cheating on him. And we're reporting problems and reporting problems. And that is the mindset that we need to break out of. And this has two steps. Number one is to stop. Somebody reports a problem to you that is well known, such as, we have an epidemic, and the governments are reacting to that in certain ways. Okay, that's the problem. Now we stop. And now we ask, well, what is this not? And that gives you 180 degrees different thinking. And when I'm saying different thinking, I mean different thinking. It's like we now have pathways in the brain that only ever go towards the problem. Always go in the same direction, always to the problem. That's our brainwashing entrainment. And it's our job to now do the opposite and go in the opposite direction where the solutions lie. So, let's say, for example, you are stuck at home with your family and they're screaming and shouting and fighting. That's good. We can now go on social media and say, oh, it's been terrible again. My family's been screaming, shouting and fighting. We can do that. And people will hit the like button and other people say, yeah, it's been terrible, my family as well. Okay, we're reporting the problem. But we can also then say, stop. Stop. Just stop for a moment. Okay. What is this not? Well, what it isn't is a family in harmony. Just do that with me. Assume the heart position here for a moment and just say those words with me. A family in harmony. I don't know if you can sense that, and I pray to the universe that you can. That just making that positive statement, a family in harmony, is an absolute game changer. Because now we have a goal. Now we've gone beyond reporting how terrible it is. We have got a goal, somewhere we can go towards, something we can move towards, something that we can evoke in a myriad of different ways. In a myriad of different ways. We can energy tap on it. We can get the whole family together and make a mural on the sitting room wall, a family in harmony. We can get the family round the table and ask the 3-year-old, what do we need to have more family harmony? And the 3-year-old will say, what's harmony? And the 5-year-old will say, it's when everybody's nice to each other. And the 3-year-old will say, well, that'd be nice. I'd like that. A family in harmony. As simple as this is, I have been saying this for decades. People haven't heard me. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can understand what I'm saying to you. That simple question of what isn't this takes us out of our reporting stage that is low down on the energy chart and gives us a personal, powerful positive that acts as an inspiration, that acts as a goal, that acts as a safety anchor, because you can come back and back to it. The family starts screaming again. Fine. What else do we need to bring more family harmony into this family? What else can we do? Do you have any ideas? Does the 3-year-old have any ideas? Does the 5-year-old have any ideas? Family harmony. Write it in big letters on the wall so that everybody can see it and everybody can agree to work on this goal together. I think that's so simple and so beautiful and so little enacted, and it's understandable when people are really stressed. So I would like you now to invite you to practice that this week. Anything at all, and you don't need to deal with massive global problems, but if you want massive global problems, you can. What isn't humanity at the moment? It's not loving, it's not connected, it's not together. And there I'm getting like a nice little energy kick. It's not together. Humanity is not together. But together is a beautiful, powerful positive that we can use in this situation. Well, you open the door to your spare bedroom and you find it filled with all sorts of madness of the ages. And it's just chaos, and it's been on your mind for a long, long time. Okay, let's do this. What isn't this spare bedroom? Well, clearly it's not loved. So we can use love as a powerful positive and get into sort of an ah. It's not clean. Clean is a beautiful positive. It's not organized. It's not inviting. Again, we have this goal state where we can say, well, what can we do to make this spare bedroom be more loved? What can we do to make it more organized? What can we do to make it more inviting? And once again, that takes us out of this paralyzed victimhood, this stuck state where nothing can move forward and we just don't have the energy to tackle this enormous problem, into a proactive step by step thing of behaviors that we can do to actually, if not entirely solve the problem, at least move it forward towards an eventual beautiful resolution. See, I'm not saying that the family harmony will instantly wave a magic wand and they'll never fight again. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm not saying that you stand there and say, oh, poor bedroom, I'd love you more. I should love you more. And that waves a magic wand and it's all done. This is all about the power of the positives. It's all about bringing movement back into the energy system, bringing more energy flow through the energy body. And that then causes us to take steps in a different way, different steps, and we finally get out of the old and into a more beneficial new. And I use the word the old and the new as nouns, because the old is behind us and the new is in front of us. So this is our homework exercise for part 2. I would like you to look at problem situations, and I would like you to ask the second magic question, what isn't this? What isn't this? To create the powerful positives that you then need to move forward and create an evolution on this problematic topic. You can energy tap the positives, you can write them down. I really suggest and really encourage that you create your own Power of the Positives journal for this course, that you write down insights and really creating your own personal handouts manual as we go along in this course. Write down the important questions, and the what isn't this is a fabulous way to start thinking of new solutions for the old problems, but it can also give us these powerful positives, like in our example of family harmony, which even as you just think about it, you can feel that in your body, how that great water wheel of life starts to spin up and starts to go forward and in the right direction. Okay, my dear friends, that's really as simple as it is, all for Unit 2 of the Power of the Positives. The problem to solution switch that takes us into true positive thinking and that gets us thinking in a different way, and most importantly, that starts to engage really the power that we have inside of us, the power of our living energy bodies, the power of our heart. When we are directing our attention correctly, you feel the results of that. You feel the difference it makes in the way that you feel and then how you act. And that is that positive forward movement. And please know this, the power of the positives is enormous. It really is way beyond my tiny little mirror ball here. As we're starting to unlock that and move in on that, we will discover treasures and riches, the likes you never expected to find, or you've forgotten, or you didn't realize that we can have them here and we can have them now. And not just that, it is my absolute belief we can have them beyond that. We can have them forever. The power of the positives, the power of love. Please stay strong. Please stay positive. If you don't manage to stay strong and positive and you have a complete meltdown, that's all right as well. We are human, goddammit. We go up and down on the energy chart all the time. You know, we go up and down, and sometimes we're angels and sometimes we're demons. But when we have our heart in the right place and we have a desire towards love, a desire towards evolution, and a desire to experience the power of the positives ourselves in our own bodies and through our own bodies in our own lives, then we are doing a fine thing and we're going in the right direction. We're going to be angels when we're dead. In the meantime, we're going to be human beings who are doing the best they can. And I believe that the power of the positives, that's the way to go. Towards love, towards joy, towards happiness. And all those things that make life worth living. With lots of love, do your homework, and I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.